u vladi. Tako da eto, to je to. Tako da eto, ako uz prevod čujete malo dečije graje, da znate o čemu se radi. A Draupadi, kako to da je još uvek dan u lici, ovdje je mrkli mrak?
Pa, valjda je svjetlo zbog snijega. Zbog snijega, vidiš.
Da, ovdje mrkli mrak, da ne poveruješ, par stotina kilometara.
Guru Maharaj je ovdje, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Hari Bol.
Dobro, krećemo. Hare Krishna.
Your sound connection is very bad.
Mine?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do because I'm not at home. I'm today in Ada, in Iveshvara's Prabhu place. We came to celebrate his 60th birthday. And I stay here to translate.
Okay, so you are there now?
Yes, I am there. And Madhva Muni, Mahapaurushika, Bahulashva, Vadasetu.
Hari
all Sankirtan friends.
Eve, congratulations. Huh?
I will convey to him, Guru Maharaj, his children, Malini and Nadia Gora. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Yes, and I will go to say it is in the next house. So I will go now to.
No. I thought they're nearby. You know, don't make the drama now.
Yes, of course. Yes, Mahaparushika and me, we are here with the children, and other devotees are in other places.
Yeah, of course. Wherever you are, there are children.
Yes.
You are the biggest one amongst them, huh? Okay,
yes.
is now connection good with you? Speak a little.
Yes, now it's very good. Yes, I'm speaking now. Is it okay?
Yeah, now you can speak.
Yes, now I'm speaking. I have the book also with me. Can you hear me, Guru Maharaj, and other devotees?
I hear you.
Rohinisuta Prabhu, mogu nešto da kažem?
Ajde.
Sad mi je napisao da mi je konekcija nestabilna, internet konekcija nestabilna. Da li to znači za Zoom? Pošto na Zoomu mi je to prijavio. Tako da i kod tebe se pojavuje da onako secka zvuk. Tako da kaži to Guru Maharadži da ne znam o čemu se radi.
Da, pa znam, pa već imamo mesecima ovo druženje.
Dobro, onda okej.
Okay, everyone has good line?
Da li imamo svi dobre veze?
Huh?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
You always, anyway, you know. You have with your horses, huh?
Yes.
I mean, in your place where you keep the horses must be good connection there, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and Draupadi is shaking the head. It seems that's good connection at her place also.
No, Draupadi is in ecstasy. She makes some kind of, I don't know, she's skiing there or what?
Draupadi izgleda skroz u ekstazi, ali se skija tamo ili šta radi? And it's still the day. It's amazing in Lika. It's not dark.
Yeah, because it's more west, you know.
Yes.
Because we go more east and south, and east is more dark, earlier dark.
Yes.
In the winter.
In the winter.
Yes. Okay, Draupadi, you will, sit silent or quiet, or better you put out your picture otherwise?
Draupadi kaže, Guru Maharaj, da li ćeš negdje da sedneš, ili ako se šetaš, bolje isključi sliku.
Otherwise we see your fitness program, you know.
Inače ćemo gledati tvoj fitness program.
Yeah. Is also doing some fitness like Draupadi, because they're about same age now?
Yes, they're like same age. Yes, he's working in his garden. He has now this winter season vegetables.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
Do a little more when he is now 60, you know, otherwise, so he has to do a little more fitness,
Yes.
yoga.
Mm.
Yeah, good. Huh? Then we can start.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Shelko is also here.
Who?
Shelko.
Željko. Željko I Madu, da li ste tu?
Matus
Yes,
Shelko.
Yes, no, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Ma, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes, they are here.
Our Gyani.
To je naš učeni poznavalac, mudrac.
Yeah. You still have a lot of questions?
Da li još uvek imaš puno pitanja?
No, not.
anymore.
No, not.
Okay, good. Otherwise, you can bring up the questions, because you always have good questions.
Inače, uvek možeš da postaviš pitanja, ti uvek imaš dobro pitanje.
Hopefully, we became not
Okay.
too close and your intelligence, you know, with Madhu's company.
Nadamo se,
Yes.
Madhu.
Madu, da te čujemo.
Haribol, Madhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Oh, nice to see you.
Yes. Also, it's nice to see you.
You have a lot of snow in Lika?
No, I'm now in Zagreb.
No snow.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
No, it's in Lika and also in Zagreb.
Yeah.
Sinti meni ključite.
Okay. So somebody has a phone on.
Yes. And Guru Maharaj, today we have also for the first time Bhakta Milan with us. You remember him from the camps, this chubby with the beard, who always have the questions, interesting questions.
Yeah. Is he also here?
Yes,
Soran.
yes.
Soran.
Milan Malenic.
I don't see him.
Yeah, he's without picture.
Uh-huh.
We just managed somehow that he come here. He just learn with the Zoom. Like this.
Oh yeah. You have to be careful. Maybe then better I don't ask questions for today.
Kaže Guru Maharaj, bolje kaže da budemo pažljivi. Možda da ne pitam danas imali pitanja.
Because I have Milan and what's his name? Chenko.
Jer Milan I Željko su tu.
Chelko, yeah.
Uvek imaju dobra pitanja I puno pitanja.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarada Madhava Jayarada Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. You ready?
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So new verse, first canto, first chapter, text 3. Huh?
Danas imamo novi stih, prvo pevanje, prvo poglavlje, stih broj 3.
Nigama kalpa taror galitam palam shukha dukhat amrita drava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Nigama kalpataror kalitam palam. Shukhamukam amrita trava samyutam. Pipata bhagavatam rasam alayam. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Nigama kalpataror kalitam palam. Shukhamukadamrita drava samyutam. Pipata bhagavatam rasam alayam. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Nigama kalpataror kalitam palam. Shukhamukam amrita drava samyutam. Pipata bhagavatam rasam alayam. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Nigama, the Vedic literatures.
Vedski spisi.
Kalpataro, the desire tree.
Drveta želja.
Kalitam, fully matured.
Potpuno zreo.
Palam, the fruit.
Plod.
Shukha, Srila Shukadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Šila Šukadeve Gosvamija, izvornog govornika Šimad Bhagavatam.
Mukhat, from the lips of.
Sa usana.
Amrita, nectar.
Nektar.
Yeah? Nectarne.
Yes, nectar. The same.
Not nectarne?
No. It's changing according to how we said grammatic rules.
Mm-hmm.
Nectar, nectarom, nectare.
Okay.
Yes.
Amrita is nectar.
Yes, nectar.
Drama means semi-solid and soft and therefore easily swallowable.
Sad pa kaže sočan I mek I zato lak za gutanje.
For everyone, for those with teeth and without teeth.
I za one sa zubima I za one bez zuba.
Because if you have no teeth, you know, then you cannot eat it. So therefore you have to eat it in liquid form.
Jer ako nemate zube, onda ne možete baš da žvaćete puno, pa morate nešto da jedete onako u tečnom obliku.
And babies also, and old men.
I bebe takođe, kao I stari ljudi.
That means it's for young and old.
To znači da je I za male I za velike, I za stare.
Yeah, that's like that. Samyutam, perfect in all respects.
Savršeno u svakom pogledu.
Pipata, to relish it.
Okusite.
Bhagavatam, the book dealing with the science of the eternal relation with the Lord.
Knjigu koja se bavi naukom o večnom odnosu sa Gospodom.
Rasam, choose that which is relishable.
Rasam znači sok ili u zagradi ono što se može okusiti.
Alayam, until liberation or even in a liberated condition.
Alayam, do oslobođenja ili čak u oslobođenom stanju.
Muhu, always.
Muhu, uvek.
Aho, oh.
Aho, oh.
That means, oh, how wonderful.
To znači, kako je to krasno, divno.
Rasika, those who are full in the knowledge of mellows.
Rasika, oni koji posjeduju potpuno znanje o dražima.
Bhuvi, on the earth.
Bhuvi, na zemlji.
Bhavukaha, expert and thoughtful.
Bavuka, iskusni I misaoni.
Okay. Hvala. Then we go on with the translation and purport. Huh?
Hvala vam. Idemo dalje sa prevodom I smislom.
That's still, how say, Mangalacharan. That means auspicious invocation and purpose of the book.
Još uvek smo u delu koji se zove Mangalacharan. što znači prizivanje povoljnosti na početku knjige.
O expert and thoughtful man, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the major fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It
O
emanated,
iskusni,
it emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including the liberated souls.
o iskusni i misaoni ljudi, okusite ovaj slatki Šrimad Bhagavatam, zreli plod drveta želja vedske književnosti. Njegov nektarski sok je potekao sa usana Šukadeve Gosvamije, zbog čega je postao još ukusniji, iako su ga već svi, uključujući i oslobođene duše, i ranije mogli okusiti.
Purport, in the two previous shlokas, that means the first two, 1 and 2, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is a sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. This shloka is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message of and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Smisao. U prethodnim dvema šlokama nepobitno je dokazano da je Šrimad Bhagavatam uzvišeni spis koji svojim transcendentalnim osobinama nadmašuje sve ostale vedske spise. Transcendentalan je prema svim svetovnim delatnostima i svetovnom znanju. U ovoj šloki rečeno je da je Šrimad Bhagavatam najuzvišeniji spis i da predstavlja zreli plod svih vedskih spisa. Drugim rečima, cvet je sveg vedskog znanja. Uzimajući sve ovo u obzir, vrlo je važno da ga slušamo strpljivo i ponizno. Poruka i pouke Šrimad Bhagavatama treba da primimo s velikim poštovanjem i pažnjom.
Okay, then we read second paragraph.
Pročitat ćemo sada i drugi pasus.
The Vedas are compared to the desire tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulative principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matters, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond all these are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulative knowledge involves the gradual rising of the living entity to the spiritual platform. And the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all spiritual tastes or rasas. You hear me good?
Yes, very good.
Okay. Good, you read second.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Vede se porede sa drvećem želja, jer sadrže sve što čovjek može znati. Bave se kako svetovnim potrebama, tako i duhovnom spoznajom. Sadrže znanje o osnovama sociologije, politike, religije, ekonomije, vojne nauke, medicine, hemije, fizike, metafizike i svega što je potrebno da održimo telo u životu. Pored svega toga, Vede nam daju i uputstva za duhovno spoznaju. Primjena tog znanja postepeno uzdiže živo biće na duhovni nivo, a najviša duhovna spoznaja predstavlja saznanje da je božanska ličnost neprestužni izvor svih duhovnih ukusa ili rasa.
Okay, then the third one. Every living entity beginning from Brahma, the firstborn living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. Raudra, anger, Adbhuta, wonder, Shringar, conjugal love. It's not according to row, it's according to the list given here. It's all mixed of rasas.
Aha, ovdje su pomešane rase, nije da onako ide nekim redom
Anyway, I will
kao ranije što smo znali.
explain after. I will explain after.
Ali objasnit ću to kasnije.
Shringar, conjugal love, hasya, comedy, vira, chivalry, daya, mercy, dasya, servitorship, sakya, fraternity, friendship, bhayanaka, horror, horror also, 10, vibhatsa, shock, 11, shanta, neutrality, and 12, vatsalya, parenthood. Okay.
Okay, shall I translate now?
Oh, cello.
Okay. Počev od Brahme, počev od Brahme, prvorođenog živog bića u materijalnom svetu, pa sve do beznačajnog mrava. Sva živa bića žele da okuse neku vrstu draži, dobijene iz čulnog opažanja. Ta čulna zadovoljstva se stručno nazivaju rase i ima ih raznih vrsta. U razotkrivenim svetim spisima nabrojano je sljedećih 12 rasa. 1 raudra ili bes, 2 adbuta ili čuđenje, 3 šringara ili bračna ljubav, 4 hasja ili smeh, 5 vira ili viteštvo, 6 daja ili milost, 7 dasja ili služenje, 8 sakja ili prijateljstvo, 9 bajanaka ili užas, 10 bibaca šok, 11 šanta neutralnost i 12 vatsalija roditeljska osjećanja.
Next one. The sum total of all these rasas is called affection or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And when these 5 are absent, love is present indirectly in form of anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love. But when such love affairs are disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between 2 persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasas are displayed between man and man and between animal and animal. There is no possibility of an exchange of rasa between a man and an animal or between a man and any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species. But as far as the spirit souls are concerned, they are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual exchange of rasa is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and the Supreme Lord. Okay?
Okay. Zbir svih tih rasa zove se ljubav. Ljubav se prvenstveno ogleda u poštovanju, služenju, prijateljstvu, roditeljskoj ljubavi i bračnoj ljubavi. Kada je pak ovih 5 odsutno, ljubav je posredno prisutna u gnevu, čuđenju, smehu, viteštvu, strahu, šoku i tako dalje. Kada je, na primjer, muž zaljubljen u ženu, ta se rasa naziva bračna ljubav. No kada su ti ljubavni odnosi poremećeni, može doći do čuđenja, gneva, šoka ili čak do užasa. Ponekad ljubavni doživljaj između dve osobe dostižu vrhunac u stravičnim scenama ubistva. Takve rase ispoljavaju se između čoveka i čoveka, životinje i životinje i tako dalje. Ne postoji mogućnost da čovek razmenjuje rase sa životinjom ili sa nekom drugom biološkom vrstom u materijalnom svijetu. Između članova iste duhovne duše su kvalitetno istovetne sa svevišnjim Gospodinom.
You finish?
One sentence more. Rase se razmenjuju između članova iste vrste, međutim, duhovne duše su kvalitetno istovetne sa svevišnjim Gospodom, te su se stoga rase izvorno razmenjivale između duhovnih živih bića i duhovne celine svevišnje božanske ličnosti.
And the last one, the last paragraph, then we have about half, and then next time we can take the rest.
Okay.
Okay, translate.
Evo, otprilike smo pročitali pola, a drugu polovinu ćemo pročitati sledeće nedelje.
So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy.
Duhovna razmena rase se potpuno ispoljava u duhovnom postojanju između tih živih bića i svevišnje Gospoda. Svevišnja božanska ličnost je stoga opisana u šruti mantrama vetskim himnama kao prvobitni izvor svih rasa. Kada se živo biće druži sa svevišnjim Gospodinom i razmenjuje s njim svoju prirodnu rasu, onda je ono istinski srećno.
Okay. Nigama kalpataror galitam palam shukha mukhat amrita travasam yatam ibeta bhagavatam rasam alayam muhur aho rasika bhuvi bavukaha. O expert and thoughtful man, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the major fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
O iskusni misaoni ljudi, okusite ovaj slatki Srimad Bhagavatam, zreli plod drveta želja vedske književnosti. Njegov nektarski sok je potekao sa usana Šila Šukadeve Gosvamija, zbog čega je postao još ukusniji, iako su ga već svi, uključujući i oslobođene duše, i ranije mogli okusiti.
Omakyati maranjasya kanachana salakyam chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. So this is a very famous shloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Ovo je veoma poznati stih Srimad Bhagavatama.
The first two slokas directed about the power of the Lord.
Prva dva stiha ili prve dve strofe govore o moći Gospodovoj.
That means the creative power.
To znači o stvaralačkoj moći.
And also the power of knowledge, that he knows everything.
I također o moći znanja, da on zna sve.
But no one knows him, or even the great demigods are confused about him.
Ali njega niko ne poznaje, čak su i veliki polubogovi zbunjeni oko njega.
So it describes the unlimited nature of the Supreme Lord, Vasudeva, Satyam Param Dhimahi. So we're absorbing our minds, our thoughts in him.
Što ukazuje na neograničenu prirodu svevišnje božanske ličnosti i zbog toga se kaže Satyam Param Dhimahi. Hajde da uronimo svoju meditaciju u njega.
And in the second verse it is pointed out who is eligible for studying these literatures about the science of the personality of Godhead.
a u drugom stihu je opisano ko je ta osoba koja je pogodna ili podobna da shvati nauku o svevišnjoj božanskoj ličnosti.
So, they are those who are free of envy, nirmatsaranam satam, who are pure in heart.
To su oni koji su slobodni od zavisti, koji su čisti unutar svoga srca.
Because Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot find topics of inferior dharma or occupations or endeavors of living entities.
Jer u Šrimad Bhagavatamu ne možete naći opise neke niže dharme ili nižih zanimanja živog bića.
Only the highest sides or theology of the Godhead is described, who is relishable for those who are Paramahamsa.
Jedino je opisan u njemu najviši oblik religije koji je ukusan za one koji su Paramahamse.
Or swan-like people.
Ili ljude nalik labudovi.
So, and then in the second verse, it is pointed out that the special sweetness of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Onda je u drugom stihu navedena posebna slatkoća Šrimad Bhagavatama.
Because it emanated from the lips of Shukadev Goswami, it became even more sweet.
Jer je proistekao sa usana Šila Šukadev Gosvamija i zbog toga je postao još i više sladak, još slađi.
So it is the ripened fruit on the Vedic desire tree.
On je zreli plod vedskog drveta želja.
And it is most relishable.
I najukusniji.
Especially those who are seeking after enjoyment, who are expert in relishing.
Posebno za one osobe koje su opisani kao iskusni znalci koji znaju da uživaju u tom.
The sages of Naimisharanya, when they approached Sutta Goswami, they told him, Vayamtuna vitripyama utamashloka vikrame yachrinvatam rasagyanam svadu svadu pade pade. O great sage, we have heard many times about the topics of the Lord from various scriptures.
Kada su mudraci iz Naimisharanje prišli Šila Suta Gosvamiju, oni su rekli, o veliki mudrače, ti si veliki iskusni poznavalac svih vrsta vedskih spisa.
But although we heard so many times, we never become tired of it.
Iako smo ih čuli puno puta, nismo postali umorni od njih.
Therefore, we are requesting you, please continue narrating to us topics about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and the service towards Him.
I zato su rekli, molimo te nastavi da pripovedaš pripovesti o svevišnjoj božanskoj ličnosti i službi posvećenju ljudi.
Because only this kind of topic is pleasing to us.
Jer jedino takve vrste razgovora nam daju zadovoljstvo.
So the sages of Naimisharanya, they actually approached Sutta Goswami because of curiosity.
Mudraci u šumi Naimisharanje su prišli Suta Gosvamiju zbog radoznalosti.
They were sages.
Oni su bili mudraci.
Sages means they're knowledgeable about the Vedic scriptures and they're purified in heart.
Mudrac znači onaj ko je pročišćen u svome srcu i ko poznaje zaključke vedskih spisa unutar svoga srca.
Although they had a lot of knowledge and actually they knew the goal of life, still they wanted to hear more.
Iako su posjedovali znanje i znali šta je krajnji cilj života, želeli.
Your connection is very bad. You have to maybe see that, how to say, we don't hear you.
Let me try to change different location. Is it better now?
Yeah, now it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So Yeah, they were very knowledgeable, very purified, but the Bhagavatam is for the liberated and also for those who are not liberated but who want to attain liberation. So it's the proper book for them, all of them.
Bhagavatam je savršena knjiga znanja i za one koji su samospoznati, i za one koji nisu, i za sve one koji tragaju za apsolutnom istinom.
For Vyasadeva also says, what is the use of any other literature if Bhagavatam is sufficient to give you all the answers to attain the supreme goal?
I zato je Šrila Vyasadev rekao, kakva je korist od bilo kojeg drugog spisa ako nam Šrimad Bhagavatam može dati odgovore na sva pitanja o cilju ljudskog života.
Therefore, it became even attractive to the great sages of Naimisharanya, and it also became very attractive to even Shukadev Goswami, who was already a liberated soul.
I zato je Šrimad Bhagavatam postao privlačan i Šukadevi Gosvamiju i mudracima iz Naimisharanje, iako su svi oni već bili oslobođeni duše.
It is because the Bhagavatam is very sweet, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his pastimes and everything that is related with him is very sweet.
I zbog toga je i Šrimad Bhagavatam i sve ono što je povezano sa njim veoma, veoma slatko.
And therefore the Bhagavatam is also considered the most ripened fruit of the Vedic desire tree.
I zbog toga se Šrimad Bhagavatam smatra najzrelijim plodom drveta vedskog znanja.
Another word for Veda, for the Vedic scripture is Nigama.
Drugo ime za vedske spise je Nigama.
Nigama Shastras. That means the Vedas, they deal about, give us information about different kinds of subjects.
To znači da nas Vede informišu o različitim vrstama tema.
We actually have to see their Upavedas and their main Vedas.
Trebamo znati da postoje podvede i glavne vede.
Main Vedas are four, Atharva, Yajur, Rik,
Ove navedene, to su 4 glavne vede.
Sama, and Sama, yes, Sama. These 4 Vedas are the main Vedas.
Ove 4 su glavne vede.
I described last time in lecture.
Njih sam prošli put opisao u lekciji.
How Srila Vyasadeva divided the one Veda into 4 sections.
Kako je Šrila Vyasadev podelio jednu vedu na 4 dela.
And they're called Shruti.
I zbog toga se one zovu Shruti.
That means they have to be heard as like the mother who gives our first authority, who gives us knowledge and information about the world.
To znači da Shruti treba čuti. Kao kad čujemo od majke koja nam daje prve informacije o ovome svetu.
So Puranas, they're also belong to the Vedas.
Purane također pripadaju Vedama.
Called the 5th Veda, together with Mahabharata.
One se zovu 5. Veda zajedno sa Mahabharatom.
So all these Vedic scriptures, they give us different kinds of information about all kinds of purposes of life or needs of life.
Tako da sve te vrste Veda nam daju razne informacije o različitim ciljevima života i o različitim svrhama života.
The main needs of life is divided into 4 parts.
Najvažniji cilj života je podeljen na 4 dela.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
I oni se stručno zovu tako.
These are the four goals of human life.
To su 4 cilja ljudskog života.
So according to our consciousness, we are either focused on Dharma and then ultimately in Artha, economic development, then Kama, to enjoy that what we worked for hard, and then when in the end, when we get old or frustrated, and then we will try to attain moksha or liberation.
I obično to izgleda ovako. Čovjek postane religiozan da bi mogao da ekonomski se razvije, da bi pomoću toga mogao da zadovolji svoja čula. Međutim, to obično završi u frustraciji i čovjek želi da dostigne oslobođenje nakon toga.
Besides, these are the subject of the Vedas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
I ova 4 su tema vedske literature.
And in the Upavedas, you get also information about Ayurveda. That's very famous. The knowledge about health.
A u podvedama nalazimo razne informacije, kao na primjer u Ayurvedi puno korisnih stvari o zdravlju.
Gandharva Veda, how to sing and play musical instruments and ragas.
U Atharva Vedi kako da pevamo, plešemo, sviramo muzičke instrumente i razne
Also,
rage.
Dancing arts.
Također umetnosti plesanja.
Then we have military science, it's also very famous. What's it called? Dhanur Veda.
Onda imamo nauku o borilačkim veštinama koja se zove Dhanur Veda.
There's architectural science and there's chemical science and there is astronomical and astrological sciences.
Postoji nauka o građevini, o astrologiji, astronomiji i sličnim naukama.
Like very famous also Surya Siddhanta.
Veoma je poznata Surya Siddhanta.
It's an astronomical science.
To je astronomska nauka.
Also, what's it called? Prabhupada uses paraphysical science.
Onda kako se to kaže na našem, ne znam kako da prevedem tačno.
Science about Sankhya, you know, to understand what is material nature, what is spiritual nature, what is subtle nature, what is gross nature.
Onda postoji nauka o Sankhji, šta je gruba priroda, šta je suptilna priroda.
It's also political sciences.
Tu su također i političke nauke.
Like science spoken by Bhishma Dev and by Vidura in Mahabharata. So there are different instructions about for politicians, for kings, for those who rule the government.
Tu je nauka koju su izgovorili Bhishma Deva i Vidura, to je politička nauka kako vladati državom, kako voditi vladu.
Science about Varnashram Dharma also.
Također tu je i nauka o Varnashram Dharmi.
So in general, Veda means knowledge. It includes all kinds of sciences.
Generalno gledajući, Veda znači znanje, uključujući razne vrste nauka.
But the Bhagavatam from the very beginning on points out the topic of this book is not about these sciences.
Ali od samog svog početka Bhagavatam izjavljuje da njegove teme nisu u dodiru sa ovim navedenim.
It's only one topic is Bhagavan. That means Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That means we're Satyam Param Dhimahi. We're meditating and absorbing our minds in the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Ovim navedenim naukama. Kaže se da Bhagavatam ima samo jednu temu, a to je svevišnja božanska ličnost. I kaže se Satyam Param Dhimahi. Hajde da meditiramo na tu svevišnju božansku ličnost.
And engage in devotional service.
I onda, hajde da se uključimo u predano služenje za tim.
This science or this knowledge is so confidential that is even confidential in the Vedas.
Ovo znanje je tako poverljivo, da je poverljivo čak i za same Vede.
Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that Bhagavatam, or this fruit, ripened fruit, the Bhagavatam, is not a part of the Veda, of these three.
Zato se kaže da ovaj zreli plod drveta vedskog znanja, on je nešto posebno.
It only appeared on that tree as the most ripened fruit.
I da on zapravo nije sa tog drveta, on se samo pojavio na izgled na tom drvetu kao njegov najzreliji plod.
But it was not manifested at that time. It only became manifested through the lips of Shukadev Goswami.
Ali nije bio manifestovan tokom tog vremena. On se kasnije manifestovao sa usana Šrila Šukadev Goswami.
Shuka means parrot.
Šuka znači papagaj.
So there's a saying, you know, whatever fruit a papagay is picking, the fruit becomes more sweet.
Kaže se da koji god plod papagaj kljucne svojim kljunom, taj plod postaje još slađi.
Bhakti Granta, we again don't hear you. I don't know why you choose that we have the lecture today. If you are staying in another place where maybe you don't have a good line or you don't know.
We were planning to come back at time at our place, but somehow we was not able to come back on time.
Yeah, I know. It's always somehow. So maybe I only speak again. Let's hear you.
Ajde da vidimo, Bhakta, da li me čujete?
Somehow or other it goes, you know, but sometimes you disappear, becomes astronautic.
Gubiš se ponekad, pravo.
Pa znam baš šta da radim.
It's a little
It's
frustrating.
okay.
It's frustrating for the speaker and for the listeners who don't understand. Huh?
Yes, I'm looking if somebody can replace me, maybe for translating.
Yeah, you didn't even check for that, for replacement. So that means you made a complete blind landing, you know, I would say blind flying, you know. Okay, we try. Otherwise,
Okay, pokušat ćemo.
I will only continue in English because
Inače ćemo nastaviti samo na engleskom.
others hear me hopefully in English.
Nadam se da me drugi bar čuju na engleskom.
Swarup, you hear me? Huh? Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes. Good. Vishwanath Chakravarti, he says the Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit on the tree of the Vedas, but actually it doesn't belong to the Vedas.
I kaže se da je Šrimad Bhagavatam zreli plod drveta vedskog znanja, ali da zapravo ne pripada Vedama.
And he gave the example of the Vedas personified.
I on daje primer Veda personifikovani.
The Vedas personified became curious about Prema Bhakti or this love of the gopis in Vrindavan.
I Vede personifikovane su postale veoma radoznale u toj ljubavi gopija iz Vrindavana.
Because they heard about it from different parts of the Puranas.
Jer one su čule o tome iz različitih vrsta Purana.
But they had no direct experience, although they were Vedas personified.
Ali nisu imale direktno iskustvo, zato što su one Vede personifikovane.
So what they did, they performed for a very long time tapasya.
I šta su onda uradile? Tokom dugog vremenskog perioda su vršile tapasiju.
As we heard this morning, not tapasya for nothing, for attaining liberation, tapasya to achieve Sri Vrindavan, to become gopi and gopi associate in Krishna's Leela.
Ali nisu radile tapasiju radi ničega, radile su tapasiju da bi postale Krištini pratioci gopije i to u Vrindavanu.
And therefore, one group of the gopis who joined the Nitya Siddha gopis in Vrindavan, they are the Shruti Charis, that means the Vedas personified.
I zato jedna vrsta gopija koje su vršile strogosti, koje su postale gopije u Vrindavanu, to su Shruti Chari ili Vede personifikovane.
And they became trained by the Nitya Siddha gopis how to serve Krishna in Rasa Leela.
I one su naučile kako da služe Krišnu u Rasa Lili.
And the Rasa Leela and all these Rasa pastimes are described in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
I sva ta rasa lila i sve te zabave su opisane u 10. pevanju Šrimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah. So, and it's therefore very difficult to find in other literatures of the Vedas.
I zbog toga ih je jako teško naći u drugim dijelovima Veda.
So, and then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he points out everyone who is relishing these fruits of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur naglašava da bilo ko kuša ovaj slatki sok Šrimad Bhagavatama,
especially through the channel and through hearing from the mouths of the disciplic succession.
Specijalno oni koji slušaju kroz usta učeničkog nasljeđa,
coming from Krishna to Brahma, and from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa.
koje dolazi od Krišne do Brahme, od Brahme do Narade, od Narade do Vyase.
From Vyasa to Shukadev, from Shukadev to Sutta, and from Sutta Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya.
I onda kroz ovaj navedeni red do mudraca u Naimisharani.
So in this disciplic succession from the Bhagavad school, we have to learn to relish and drink the nectar, sweet nectar fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam.
I od ovog učeničkog nasljeđa trebamo naučiti kako da kušamo taj slatki sok Srimad Bhagavatam.
This fruit, as I mentioned last time, it has no skin, it has no stone, no pea. So it's only juice, only nectar.
Kao što sam ranije naglasio, taj zreli slatki plod nema ni koru, nema ni košticu, već ima samo čisti sok.
Therefore it's relishable for everyone, if you have teeth or no teeth, if you are young or if you are old.
I zato je ukusan za svakoga, bez obzira da li imate ili nemate zube, da li ste stari ili mladi.
And it especially is relishable and intoxicates those who are rasika.
I on posebno opija one koji su rasika.
You know, there are different kind of ecstasies known as astasatvika bhava.
Postoje razne vrste zanosa koji se zovu satvika, astika, bhava.
Like shivering.
Kao što je kad se telo trese.
Flowing of tears.
Suze teku.
Losing color. Become
gubljenje tena. Postajemo bolesni.
Laughing.
Smejanje.
And even losing consciousness.
I čak i gubitak svesnosti.
So, and then he explains this liquor fruit of Bhagavatam is so intoxicating, it leads to through all these bhavas up to the fainting.
I opisano da je taj sok toliko opijajući da on dovodi do nesvesti i do bave čak.
But it will not be finished when you faint. Then you faint a little, then you come to consciousness again, and then you continue to relish Bhagavatam again and again.
I onda sa onesvešćivanjem to nije kraj, kad se osvestite, nastavljate da kušate Bhagavatam iznova.
Yeah, again, deadline.
Yes, I will try to connect on the domestic line in the house. Maka Porušika, možda mi pomogneš nešto? Okay, we will now try with Mahaparushika's line.
Yeah, through the phone is mostly better.
Yes. It will take just a few seconds. Okay.
Okay, you're here.
Pređemo u kuhinju. Samo moraš uključiti samo. Aha. Samo ovo ugasim sad pošto zvuči.
There's a lot of noise somewhere.
Yes, I just have to switch on my telephone and then we will have another connection. Okay, now we can continue. Is it better now?
Even if you faint because of ecstatic love to Krishna, of hearing about Krishna Katha, you come back to consciousness and continue to listen more.
Čak i ako se onesvestite zbog zanosta i ljubavi prema Krišni, onda osvestite se i želite da nastavite dalje.
It's like a drunkard.
To je kao pijanica.
A drunkard, he drinks up to fainting, and then when he comes back, then he continues to drink.
Pijanica se napije i onda kad se osvesti nastavi da pije i dalje.
Yes, so it never ends.
I onda to se nikad ne završava.
So to drink the Bhagavatam, if you become addicted to this rasa, to this sweetness of this liquor of Bhagavatam, then you can never give it up.
Ako postanete vezani za taj liker Šrimad Bhagavatama, nikad ne možete više da ga napustite.
Devotees, those who are rasika, that means advanced in love to Krishna. I give it up.
Even this one doesn't
I will
function.
continue only in English now. Forget it.
Okay.
I have not nerves now for going with the chewing gum.
Dakle, nastavljamo samo na
next time you check it, inform me. Otherwise, better we don't have program. Then if you cannot get it together. I told you already one time. So anyway, the Bhagavatam is leading us to the highest taste of love to Krishna, and it comes from after anartha nivritti, absence of bad habits, you become fixed in devotional service, in the sadhana bhakti process, and from there ruchi, taste will appear, and from ruchi, attachment, ashakti. And actually on the level of ashakti, bhava bhakti starts, and bhava bhakti is the beginning of prema bhakti. So by regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Nasta preshu abhatreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya, bhagavati uttama shlokir bhakti bhavati naishtiki. By regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam in the service attitude, in the association of devotees, then everything what is inauspicious and what becomes removed, apadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya, and loving devotional service will become established as an irrevocable fact. That means it cannot be changed. It's not given up. Like somebody who is attached to liquor, you don't give it up. You go on and on and on. Even if you faint sometimes, you continue again. So in this way, we all have habits relishing certain rasas. And Srila Prabhupada is listing these 12 rasas who are in Krishna Lila, eternally manifested, and who are also pervertedly reflected in this material world. Because the jiva is an eternal part and parcel of the Lord, and as such, we're also looking after Ananda Maya Abhyasat. We're also looking after happiness, after enjoyment. That's natural for every living entity, for every living being. even in animal form, in insect form, in demigod form, in any form. Everyone is looking for some enjoyment, some happiness. And this original happiness actually comes from the, how is it called? Anandamaya Murti. The embodiment of all Ananda, of all happiness and of all rasa, Rasika Shekhar, is Krishna. It's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, Lord Narayana is because he's the Purusha. From him, this material nature is manifested through the Purushas, Mahavishnu and Garbhodaka Vishnu, like that. Therefore, this Vishnu form is Anandamaya Purusha. He is full of bliss. Not bliss in material enjoyment, but bliss, he is absorbed in his own bliss all the time. And the Anandamaya Purusha, he is a manifestation of Lord Krishna. So that means the origin of all Anandamaya, of all ecstasies and of all rasas is Lord Krishna. Therefore, Lord Krishna is also known as Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Akhila Rasamrita Murti. That's Sri Rupa Goswami in his invocation of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, of Nectar of Devotion. You can find this verse, and also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 8th chapter, Madhya Lila, text 142. There is this invocation of Rupa Goswami to his book, Akhila Rasamrita Murti, Prashrimrara Ruchi Ruda Taraka Pali, Kalita Shyama Lalito Radha Prayan Vidhur Jayati. Let Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, be glorified. By virtue of his expanding attractive features, he subjugated the gopis named Taraka and Pali and absorbed the minds of Shyama and Lalita. He is the most attractive lover of Srimati Radharani, and there is a reservoir of pleasure for devotees in all transcendental mellows. So this Akhila Rasamrita Murti means he is the reservoir of all rasas. The reservoir of all rasas. Raso Vaisaha. The Vedas also, Shruti Vedas, Upanishads, they have this mantra, Rasa Vaisaha. That means the Lord is purely rasa. That means we can only conquer him and attract him through rasa, not through material opulences and material qualities, because he has no rasa for that. Only the conditioned souls who is fallen in this material world, who fell in love or fell attraction to Maya, accepts the rasa from the spiritual world in a perverted way, in a selfish mood to enjoy. And the result is from love, hatred, illusions, and all kinds of other rasas are manifested. So of these 12 rasas, the main rasa is the Adiras. Adiras is the Madhura ras, that means the ras, Shringa, also known as Shringa ras of the gopis. Radharani, she is the best of the gopis, and she is Latini Shakti. We also spoke last time about it. Only by this Latini Shakti, Krishna is attracted, because she is the internal pleasure energy of the Lord. She gives pleasure to Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is always in association and with Radharani, and Radharani, she is always in association with Krishna. And everyone who is seeking devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna and joining in this Ujjvala Ras. That means in this festival of many different kinds of humors or rasas. This is called Ujjvala Ras. Ujjvala means full of enthusiasm, full of joy, you know? Like a festival. If there is a festival, it is Ujjvala. That means it is full of joy, full of ananda. Different kinds of mellows are flowing there, you know. And everyone who is in such a festival, he never wants that it stops. It's an eternal marathon. Therefore, in Krishna's Leela, the Leela, because these rasas are so much relishable that nobody wants that it stops. Only in the material world, everything has a beginning and an end, but in the spiritual world, there's no beginning and an end. Everything is increasing. It is the ecstasies and these rasas are increasing in its flavor. Like grains have some little rasa in itself, you know, but it becomes, how we say, if you cook grains, it is okay, but it becomes better if you put some spices in it, like salt and maybe some other spices, you know. It increases the flavor of the original product. So in the same way, there are 5 main rasas, beginning with Madhurya, or let's go from down, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. They all increase in its quality if the ingredient of the secondary rasas become mixed with it. That means like anger. We hear sometimes Radharani gets angry. This man, anger. Or Adbhuta, wonder. The devotees become very amazed about certain events of Krishna's wonderful leelas. They become completely amazed and stunned. Even Yamuna Devi, she becomes, although she's always flowing in one direction, she starts to go backwards or become stunned. Movable entities started to flow, to stop, and the non-movable start to flow. It's a completely contrary to the material law. So because everyone is so much in ecstasy, so that wonder becomes manifested. It's called Adbhuta. And Shringa we have already. Hasya, laughter, joking, or comedy. Vira, chivalry. That one likes to challenge Krishna or fighting with Krishna. There's in a chivalrous mood. And Doya, mercy. It's also there. And what is the other one? And Bhayanaka, horror. Horror is mostly in a negative form. If the devotees see that Krishna is in a very dangerous situation, then they have this kind of horrible feeling, and also shock, like that. But these seven rasas, secondary rasas, they independently of the first 5, they're not existing in the spiritual world. They're only existing together with the first 5. So therefore, they're always mixed with the other 7. And in this way, rasa is exchange. It gets some spices. The 5 main rasas get some spices. And then there are also different other bhavas, like Asta Sattvika bhava, Vyabhichari bhava, So different kinds of ecstatic symptoms become manifested, who are increasing the ecstasy of the Ujjvala Ras, or of this festival of Rasa Lila or Krishna Lila in Goloka Vrindavan. So in the material world, all these rasas are also existing. We have Dasya, we have Sakya, we have Vatsalya, we have friendship, we have father, mothers, sons and daughters, like that. Lovers, and we have servants. So these, and we also have experiences of this wonder and anger and shock and horror and like that in life, mixed with our main other, how we say, feelings we have and emotional things. Sometimes this shock and horror appearing, even between lovers, as Prabhupada is pointing out. Sometimes we love, and then later on it turns into hatred. They cannot even see each other anymore and throw bottles on each other or beating them, and catastrophe. You know? Then everyone goes and runs away in different directions. Mostly it has not a good end. In the spiritual world, sometimes also such kinds of things maybe happens, but it is always a happy end. It's not, even demons, we hear from Priya Bhagavatamrita. So there's also an experience that demons appear sometimes, and then Krishna has to go and killing them, you know? And then the devotees are always in shock and in stunned, and they waiting until Krishna is coming back. But it's not going on for a long time like in the material world. It's only more a mood what they have, you know. Because in the spiritual world, the Rasa Lila or Krishna's Lila is eternally going on. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. And when he leaves, it seems to be that he leaves, but actually is always there. It's only in the mood of the devotees. And this shocking, or this feeling of separation from the Lord is increasing their love to Krishna. So anyway, in the point is made here that in the material world, rasa is reflected. That means life is actually means rasa. Without flavors, without enjoyment, without relationships, there's no life. Then we become like robots. Machine, you know, and like moving dead people without soul, without any teachers, you know, without any feelings and emotions, because everyone is just absorbed in their own thoughts, in this own mental world, you know, or even in the machine that they always carry with them, you know. Looking, and if you look people, you know, on the street, wherever they go, what they have in the hand. It's always mobile phone. It's because it's their inseparable partner, you know, all the time. Even had not only the girls, not only women, also the men. Everyone has this mobile phone in the hands. They cannot exist without it anymore. Even if they don't use it, they carry it in the hand. They don't carry it in the pocket or in a bag. You know? Because they always, it seems to be everyone expects always to get an SMS or a Facebook message or a like from somewhere, you know, and some kind of a positive message, you know, or keep up with the news of the world, you know. So, and then the people become so much absorbed in the computers and machines, so that they actually don't even have a relationship with their own near family members. And especially in this time we're living now, people become more and more absorbed in this machine and become so frustrated because they cannot go anywhere, they cannot do anything without this, and whatever. And everything is, they're completely handicapped, you know, cannot go even to go to the school, they cannot go to the job, and they have to stay at home, you know, and do everything at home. And if two, 3 people stay at home who normally don't live together for a long time, only in sleeping time, they start to fight, you know, to quarrel with each other, and it's a time, you know, where so many people divorce and even kill each other, or commit suicide, or kill somebody. And this is all this perverted reflection in a negative way of disturbed rasa. If rasa becomes disturbed, you know, then it becomes devastating for the conditioned soul. They become crazy. Nunam pramata kurutevi karma yadindriya pritaya aprinoti. We become crazy. And we are blind, and we're following blind men, and you know, you go, and then you come to the cliff, and then boom, you're down, and you wonder why you fell down. Because I followed the blind man, the blind leaders, you know, and they say, yeah, go follow us. We have the truth. And then the result will be clear. It will be catastrophe. And you get warnings, you know, like somebody, Prabhupada gives the story of somebody sitting on a branch of a tree, and he cuts the branch where he's sitting on it with the sewing. So he wants to cut it, you know, and one man from underneath, hey, don't cut yourself, otherwise you fall down from the tree. But the man completely ignores him and says, I know what I'm doing, you know, just let me do. And then he goes on cutting, and he drops down on the ground. And then he asks, oh, sir, from where you knew that I will fall? From where you know, so everyone can see what will happen, you know, if you follow the suicidal course or path of life, you know. So therefore, the how we say, the saving rope or boat of who brings us out of this dark hole of material existence is only shelter in hearing or chanting about Srimad Bhagavatam, in the association of devotees. That's the only shelter we have. Everything else will be ultimately a failure. They're only blind soldiers. Now we think my wife will protect me, the husband will protect me, my children I love, and they will protect me. They give me a kind of an enjoyment. My job, my government, my everything that I have, you know, my bank balance and my insurance company, they will all help me and protect me, my doctors, what I have, you know. But then at one point you become completely frustrated because we can see you became completely cheated. You had so much from whole life, you had faith in all kinds of authorities and in your own family, and then in the end, you know, everything falls apart. It's not always. There's also possible that one can survive in it, but to live a family life, you know, we have to learn how to live a family life. Not like cats and dogs. We have to we have to learn that, you know, how to respect each other and how to support each other. Even if there's sometimes little quarreling, there's not a problem, you know. That's also the sages that says quarreling between husband and wife is like a thunderbolt, flash and thunderbolt. You know, it's sometimes, but you know, it is temporary. It's only for a few moments, and it goes over. It goes by. It doesn't go on forever. So if you want to live in a family or in a community, or also keep friends, even I told yesterday to some devotees who were here, you know, to nowadays, you're happy, you're a lucky person if you have only one trustworthy friend to whom you can open your heart. You're actually lucky. Many people that don't even have that, not even in their own family, because everyone is in his own world, completely covered, all on ego trip. And so, and therefore, it's a work. Material world is a school for us, that we can learn, how to live in a society, how to live in a family, how to cultivate friendship. But nowadays, the people don't know. Everyone pushes his own ego, and only you expect everyone has to accept my ego, my way of life. And if you don't accept it and respect it and appreciate that and give me pleasure in this way, then you're my enemy. You're not. I quit you from my friendship list. You're not my friend anymore. So we can see how easy we take friends and reject friends. And what does this mean? They're actually no friends. Because real friendship, you never give up. Real love, real affection to somebody or to something what in your life, what you really like, where you really give your heart and consciousness, you never give up. You will be fooled. Only if you're crazy, you will give up something what is nice. Nice family, nice friendship. Only because of your ego. That we should all not forget. We are here in this material world because of our crazy ego. And as long as we are cultivating and become egomanic and run after this ego to give it enjoyment and expect everyone else to have to recognize me and give me enjoyment, we become more and more crazy. Nunam pramata kurute vikarma. And we're falling down the ditch, of tamaguna. Andhar upaniya manas te pisha tantra urudham nipadha. Then you drop down the cliff because we follow blind leader. So therefore we have to accept knowledge. We have to accept vision of the great acharyas, of the spiritual masters, and by following them and become humble servants of them and holding on their dhoti and following in their footsteps and accepting their teachings as our life and soul, then we can have material and spiritual success. Then the family life will be all right. Although it is never ideal, because in material world, especially in Kali Yuga, there's always disturbance. It's a dark age. It's full of faults, but still, it is still a time where people still have some good qualities. They have some soul. They have some interest. The time will come. It will be completely hopeless, and that's the time when Kalki will come. But that's not the time now. Kalki is still end of Kali Yuga, that's in more than 400,000 years. But now it's still actually a good time. People still have, there's still nice people in every society and in every country, and we have to just meet them. There are many crazy ones, who are hopeless. Don't waste your time. Give your time on even meeting one person. And try to cultivate this friendship, and this rasa, but in relation with Krishna. Otherwise, it will not stay. It's Shrama Eva Kevalam. It has a beginning and an end. Only if you have Krishna in the center, then the love affair and all the relationships and all activities that we do will have a success. And if we are serious, as Prabhupada is saying, and endeavoring with patience, then with Krishna's help and with Vaishnava's help and with the help of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we can go safely through this world and stay normal and have a healthy life and relationship with each other, with love and affection. And as Krishna says, my devotees, I'm always present when my devotees lovingly exchange affection amongst each others by hearing and chanting about my glories. Machita mat kata pranas podayantas parasparam kataish chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. In that stage, Bhagavad Gita 10:10, 10:9. And in that association of a nice, healthy Vaishnava association, Krishna is present, and therefore the devotees feel great joy and happiness. There's no lamentation. One time, one sage, great sage, came to a king, and the king was lamenting all the time. He was crying and lamenting about, only thinking and speaking about his own problems and the things, of problems in his kingdom and in his life. So the sage chastised him. Oh, king, you're actually not a king. You're not a kshatriya. You're a shudra. Because only shudras are lamenting. Shudra and women. They're lamenting. A king should not lament. A brahmana should not lament. Na sochati na kankshati samaksaveshu bhuteshu mat bhaktim labate param. Pandita Samadarshina. A Pandit has equal vision. He doesn't become confused by the coming and going of happiness and distress. Matras Pashas to Kauntea Shidushnas Dukkha Dukkada. Agama Pina Nityas Tamsadiksha Sabharata. It's not lament. He's sage. He's absorbed in knowledge, in Bhagavata, in Vidhi, Paravidya. But if you're ignorant like a Shudra and who is like a Muda level, or if you're a sentimentalist, not using intelligence and surrender unto Krishna, then you will lament all the time, because it's programmed already. After lamentation, what will come? Swarup. What will come after lamentation?
Suffering. Suffering.
No, after lamentation, happiness will come. Because everything in this material world is temporary. Matras Parshas tu Kaunteya Shidushna Sukha Dukkada. Bhagavad Gita 2:14. It's ABC. Everything has in the material world has a beginning and an end. Suffering has a beginning and end, and happiness has a beginning and end. Therefore, in whatever enjoyment you feel yourself now, or happiness in material life, never feel. Then you should be always be scared. Oh, misery will wait. It's very nearby. Because next to enjoyment in material world, it's the misery just nearby, very close to each other. It's almost practically no separation from it. It's just the other side of the coin. Now in the material world, we always want to make miserable things pleasurable. And if we are enjoying, then we become so much crazy in this enjoyment, that we burn out everyone. And everyone runs in different directions. Because how much you can enjoy each other. If you only think you are the body and you only focus on family life and children and wife and how to maintain yourself. It will become crazy. And people will become disturbed. You have to find a common goal with the family together. with whoever partner or friendships you have to have a common goal, you know, and that can only be Krishna. Like if you want to throw a stone in a beautiful lake, you know, and want to see the nice rings, you know, then we have to learn how to throw the stone all together in the same point, you know? Not in different directions. Because if you throw it in different directions, you know, there will no ring will manifest. One ring will disturb another ring. Therefore, rasa can never ultimately manifest in this world, you know, as long as we are not having a common focus. And the common focus begins first in ourselves, you know, to become yourself, be authentic, be natural, love yourself first, and respect yourself, and cultivate this knowledge and this process of Krishna consciousness in your life, and that will give a tejas, this will give a reflection that everyone who lives with you also will become affected by it. And then the others also will become, will live this way. Because everyone wants to be happy, but we don't know how to be happy. Now many people, they want to find happiness in meditation. Either Buddhistic or, I don't know, not about Krishna. Mostly, they don't even tell about what they meditate, but it becomes very popular way nowadays. Yeah, I'm meditating. I meditate already since 30 years. I'm meditating already so many years, you know. And they look very peaceful, very satisfied and balanced, you know. Nobody can agitate them. But nobody knows about what they meditate. And we heard this morning, as long as we meditate about something fictive or something temporary or something like Nirvishesha, Brahman or Nirvana, it will ultimately not be very satisfying. You will have a little bliss, no? But it's not an ultimate success because it's not the supreme goal. The supreme goal goes above moksha. It goes even above liberation in the Vaikunthas. The 4 kinds of liberations in the Vaikuntha is also rejected by the Vaishnavas because the ultimate goal above Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is the Panchama Purushartha. The 5th and ultimate goal is Prema Pumartha Mahan, is to attain ecstatic love towards Krishna. This goal we have to keep in mind, even if we are not there yet. And it seems to be still far away and almost impossible, you know, because we have so many problems, so-called problems, you know. But we have to understand, actually, there are no problems. Only problem is lack of Krishna consciousness. So if we have a Krishna consciousness in the center, and we are practicing Krishna consciousness, either for yourself and with your close families and friends, as far as possible. And if they are not nearby, then you have to find them, even if you have to travel a few kilometers. Previously, we always traveled, so as long there is always an opportunity where there's a will, there's a way that we can travel and that we can meet each other and associate, you know. Doesn't have to be a festival. Normally, we only come together in festivals, but why only in festivals? Then what happens if you meet in the festival? I always see in these festivals what we have in Serbia, in Croatia, in Switzerland, in Germany. Not the very old ones. Very old ones were very good because we were one team, you know. This was a team spirit, you know. But nowadays, festival means, you know, all kinds of little groups meeting with each other. And on the main program, practically nobody is. Only if your guru is speaking, then they go. And otherwise, everyone forms their own little groups, a little blah, 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 and ha, ha, ha. That's what is going on. It's not a real team spirit, and it's also not expectable. It's not practical. Like to Lord Chaitanya's time, there were also different groups, different sampradayas. Group means sampradaya. It's like a family of devotees. We can also call a congregation. Some came from Sri Khanda, somebody came from other places, from Bengal. And in one point, they meet either in Mayapur or they go to Jagannath-Puri one time in the year to meet Lord Chaitanya. And they were all different little groups, but then they joined with a big group and then go there and then they have together with Lord Chaitanya big festival. Everybody with the same focus. Because they trained already this teamwork in the little sampradaya group, then when the big sampradaya comes together, becomes very big utsava. That means a very big Mahotsava festival. But we have completely forgotten this kind of festivals. We don't even know anymore what is a festival, because when we go to a festival, so-called festival, it's mostly a seminar, or so about something, or some kind of meditation and singing together, in meditation tune. But it's not something that brings everyone together. And Sankirtan means brings everyone together. We have one common goal, one common interest. And this we can do if we come together, or we can also do in separation. If you're far away from each other, because you are connected in interest with rasa. And this is like constellation of stars, Some stars are very far from each other, but they have a constellation with each other. So in this way, devotees should have constellation with each other. Nowadays, we're in an electronical age. But the electronical age, it always has some disturbance, as we see now. It's not always functioning. So it is okay, we can use it, but we also should use it, because Shakti Aladini, Bhakti Granta, Vanamali, they chant Hare Krishna now in their place. In another place, in Belgrade, somebody is chanting and having katha, and another place here in the place where we live now, somebody else, and even many different people and devotees and families, they're chanting and they're having katha. And so we know we are not alone, we are together, we have a common interest. But nowadays, we have a common interest, maybe for a few minutes coming together. How are you? How is the weather? How is your health? What you're eating nowadays? Like that. How many rounds you are chanting nowadays? That's the only topic we have. And then after that, actually, we have not interest in the person. We only go to the next, and then we have the same blah 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 there. And in the end, we go home, and feel completely empty, and continue with our old trip, with our old habits. Maybe sometimes it clings on, you can keep the spirit for a few days or weeks, but then it will go down. And so we have the secret is to always keep the spirit. And then when we come together, then we have a common interest. We have a topic, or chant together. Not only about our problems in life. Because problems in life, we cannot anyway not solve, but if it can be solved if we become happy in Krishna consciousness, then Krishna is miracle man. He's a miracle God. He's Yogeshwar. So everything is possible by his mercy. And it's not something what you just believe, it's a fact. But if you apply it, then you will see. Everyone who tries, you will see you become causelessly happy and satisfied. And if misery comes, then the misery or pains in your body will stay for some time, but tomorrow or in a few days, you tolerate it and you go on, and then it will disappear. But then again the misery will come. So it's not that it will come back. It will not come back anymore. Or that if you are miserable, that happiness will not come anymore. It comes naturally. Like disease is coming and going. Like happiness is coming and going. So that's the life and so on. And therefore we should not become washed away and discouraged by the ups and downs in our life, because something is not completely for our my satisfaction. And so, okay, then we have to accept that this is my karma now. This is Krishna's arrangement for me in this life, so that I can learn how to surrender more to Krishna without just becoming sentimental again with somebody and then become again, I would say, washed away on a material platform. So Krishna knows what is the best for us, and he always helps us, is our best friend. And he actually wants, don't forget that, he desires that we enjoy with him. He's the greatest enjoyer, he's Anandamaya Purusha. Because Anandamaya Purusha, Lord Vishnu, meditates about Lord Krishna. He wants to see Krishna. He is attracted to Krishna's wonderful qualities. Why? How is this possible? If Lord Vishnu Narayana is Anandamaya Murti or Purusha, and we are all his part and parcel. Therefore, we're also looking after Anandamaya. So how is it possible then? Why he is looking happiness in Krishna in relation with Krishna? That means Krishna is the origin of the Anandamaya. And only because we have Anandamaya as goal and ultimately come in contact with the supreme source of Anandamaya. All other emotions that we have in life, Anamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya, all these will become fully satisfied by Krishna's arrangement. Because if Anandamaya works, all other Mayas there also will be satisfied. And if we only go now for Anandamaya, then we maybe will be satisfied with our daily bread and food, but that will not give us ultimate satisfaction. Therefore, we are also Pranamaya, the feeling that I exist, that I'm alive, that I'm a living entity. This is Pranamaya. I have senses, I'm aware that I'm a living conscious soul, that I have senses, I can perceive the world. This is Pranamaya. So you are happy in, how we say, observing the world, But this is also not the goal. To be a world traveler and observing the world, how it works. Without Krishna consciousness, it will also lead to frustration, like the Anamaya. Anamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya. Jnanamaya means seeking after knowledge. Mental faculty, that means cultivating knowledge to satisfy the mind. The mind is very curious and very eager to know something with the help of intelligence. So this is Anamaya. And then if you're cultivating some kind of knowledge, we speak now about Vedic knowledge, then we come to Vijnanamaya. You come to realization. And realization ultimately gives you an awareness that I'm eternal spirit soul, aham brahmasmi. I'm an eternal part and parcel of the Anandamaya Purusha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm actually his servant, but I'm not doing that now. So therefore, the ultimate point of realization is that I go in contact with Anandamaya Purusha through his channel, antenna connection. And instead of TV channel, we have a Parampara channel. So we go in and we switch on this channel. And then you go in contact with this Anandamaya Purusha, and then you are engaged in the constant blissful devotional service of the deity, and in hearing about Krishna and remembering him, and hearing pastimes from and philosophy from Srimad Bhagavatam, from the Bhagavad Gita, and all other things in your life become satisfied. Your eating, how you say, desire becomes satisfied. Your existence and joy of existence, and how you say, sense perceptions of Krishna consciousness, articles what are offered to Krishna, they become satisfied. Pranamaya. Jnanamaya, that means your knowledge, your mind, your intellect becomes satisfied, because it's the Bhagavata philosophy is the complete philosophy. It's the cream a la cream of all Vedic knowledge. And about the other literatures we don't speak, because Narad Muni declared other literatures is a literature for crows, pilgrimage places for crows. Not for the swan-like mentality of the mind, who wants to swim in beautiful lakes with, where there are lotus flowers like that, and perceive the beautiful atmosphere, transcendental atmosphere of the Lord's lotus feet. That is this knowledge you can get, this Jnana Maya, and then you work accordingly in sadhana bhakti, sadhya, and ultimately sadhya. Sadhana leads to sadhya, to the perfection, to where you are happily without force, without a must, not because others are doing it, voluntarily with great joy and eagerness. You like to serve Krishna every day and hear about him and chant about him and like that. And therefore, all kinds of mayas, of experiences from Anamaya up to Anandamaya becomes satisfied and fulfilled alone in Krishna consciousness. No other way. No. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam, kalo nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva, gatiranyataha. Okay, now I could speak in a flow. It's very nice. I become fired up if I can speak without obstacles. So I hope everyone could follow a little. I was not speaking too much. And any questions arrived? Translator was switched off. You have to speak yourself directly. If you have any question. Shaktiya, you have one?
Yes, I have one. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for this nice class. I was reading in Sri Bhagavatamrita that this example, how Mother Uttara came last day to see Maharaj Parikshit.
Yeah.
And for one mother to know that his son will leave the planet is not so pleasing moments, but still he was so eager to hear what Maharaj Parikshit was hearing for Shukadeva Goswami. Even in one day, he was able
He or she?
to give his Maharaj Parikshit give his mother in one day
Yeah.
somehow the extract of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm just wondering, he was listening 7 days and his mother was able only in one day to hear about the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah,
So I would like to ask
yeah, because she was woman. She told Parikshit, don't tell me very complicated philosophical parts what the Brahmana spoke to you. Tell me just the essence of that, of the nectar what you heard from him. So therefore, Parikshit told to his mother, yes, I will tell you the nectar, but in the form of a story, so that you will grasp more, more easy than just in a philosophical thesis. And therefore, he narrated in form of the story of Gop Kumar as a, how we call this, as a guide, through the Vaishnava philosophy. So Bob Kumar, by the example of Bob Kumar, he's like a protagonist, like a
Isključite mikrofon, bakte.
like a example, ideal example of every field, of every sphere, to guide you and give you the full picture, of the Siddhanta, of the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Brihat Bhagavatamrita. Therefore, it's the Brihat. It's the greater nectar of Bhagavatam. Because Shukadeva Goswami made the Vedic, the Bhagavatam, or this whole purpose of the Vedas, ultimate Siddhanta of the Vedas, more tasty, more sweet. And by the, by the great personalities, realized personalities like Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, then later on also Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and it became sweeter and sweeter. And then when we read Prabhupada purports, maybe we don't understand the original verse, but if you read the purport, we feel immediately inspired. Not inspired to enjoy and to, or to meditate and to absorb in unlimited bliss, but actually it inspires us in doing something. That's the miracle of Prabhupada's purports, because Prabhupada immediately, he has so much Vigyan that he can give the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadeva Goswami and from disciplic succession and apply it in practical way, so that every one of us will be inspired to engage in the process of devotional service in one way or another, and to surrender. So the Krishna consciousness is full of rasa. It's like what is Vishwanath? Narottam. Narottam Das Thakur, he compiled a song about Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. Three couplets, strophe. So he explained that the Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they actually they excavated a well, a sweet water well, who has all rasas in it, all kinds of rasas. All 12 rasas are in this sweet water, especially the Madhurya ras. The most sweetest of all rasas is Madhurya ras. And why it is the most sweetest and the top rasa? Because all other rasas are in the Madhurya or in the Shringaras. Therefore, it's considered the top. And they excavated this how's it called, sweet nectar well, Rasa Kup, Rasa Kup, and Kup means a well, and Rasa means this what we heard now, the different kinds of relationship with Krishna, headed by Shringaras. So they manifested in this world a Rasa Kup, and a well full of various rasas, and they distributed it. They sprinkled the world with the nectar of this well, of the water from this well. Therefore, through the even Shukadev Goswami is difficult to understand if you don't have purports, if you don't have explanations and commentaries. So therefore, it's very important that we have of the realized. Well, somebody has microphone. So if you hear the topics from the Guru Parampara, then it becomes more and more quintessential and nectarian. Because life is short in nowadays time, Kali Yuga, and we have no time to study many Vedic literatures. Therefore, the Goswamis, they studied all the Vedic literatures and they gave us the conclusion, the Siddhanta of the Vedic literatures. And they also made commentaries and, I would say, of Bhagavatam. And they gave, I would say, descriptions of how engaging in devotional service and bhakti. Because that was the order given by Lord Chaitanya to Rupa and Sanatana Goswami to write literatures about Bhakti Ras, and about devotional service, and about the science of devotional service, establish deity worship, and give guidelines to the future devotees so that they can practice sadhana bhakti according to their direction. That was the mission of the Goswamis of Vrindavan, and we're servants of the Goswamis in the line of the Parampara through Srila Prabhupada. We cannot jump over and go directly to the 6 Goswamis, but we serve the 6 Goswamis through Srila Prabhupada, through the disciplic succession. And in this way, the mercy is flowing. So, and Parikshit Maharaj also, because Parikshit Maharaj attentively heard Bhagavatam from Shukadev, and therefore when he heard his mother, who was not present at that time, asking him about, to tell her about this in an easy way, in an easy, understandable way, that what he has heard from the great sage Shukadev, and she will be very happy that, so that she also can make advancement in direction of love to Krishna and attain the supreme goal. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Guru Maharaj. Just one short question connected with this. Last time you also explained that Bhagavad Gita is like a heart of Mahabharata, like heart of Mahabharata. So can we also consider this Brihad Bhagavatamrita like a heart of Srimad Bhagavatam? Because it's all extracted nectaries in one, how to say, one book.
Yeah, you can put the Srimad Bhagavatam also in one book. So it's not not so a small book, you know. You see, it's very bulky. It's it's especially if you also read the purports of it. Because Sanatana Goswami made also a commentary to the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And then his brother, Srila Rupa Goswami, he made a commentary to the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and he called it the Lagu, the smaller Bhagavatamrita, as a support of the statements that Sanatana Goswami made in the Brihad. So therefore, the Lagu and the Brihad, they actually belong together. Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they were like one soul. Because they were so much empowered by Lord Chaitanya, and they had so nice love and affection and teamwork, that so that they could, I would say, ergänzen, Croatian, Serbian, ergänzen. Okay. Yeah, to assist each other, to supplement each other. As you like, you can see it as the heart, but still you should also read the Bhagavatam. Because the Brihad gives you really only the essence, but if you really want, if you want to get want to go really deeper in it, you should read the whole Bhagavatam, as Shukadev Goswami was speaking it, and Sutta Goswami. Because there's much more in it, in detail. Of course, if you know a little more about Bhagavatam, if you read it already several times and you are absorbed in this Bhagavat knowledge, then you can, I would say, absorb in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and as soon you read it, everything else that is in the Bhagavatam appears in your mind. Because it's like a summary, Okay, some other question?
Thank you very much.
Bhakti Granta became quiet, disappeared, eat something.
Guru Maharaj, now not eating, now I'm driving back to Subotica.
Yeah, you're driving.
Yes.
And Shakti Aladini also drives now?
No, she and Vanamal is in Subotica, and Maha Porushika and myself, we are now driving.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But can I ask you a question, Guru Maharaj?
Yeah, but you are driving or he?
I'm driving.
Better not. You have to look on the street now. You can
Okay.
ask me another time.
Okay. Thank you.
Stay in touch.
Okay.
Okay, something else? Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Prabhupada.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Oh.
Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru.
Hare Krishna, Haribol.
Draupadi, Haribol. Now you can make yourself visible.
Hare Krishna.
You are at home. You are at home from the snow.
Yes.
Haribol. Yes, der Ehemann von Draupadi.
Shrivan.
Shrivan. Oh, long time not seeing you. Hey. And you come and visit us one time.
I hope.
Yeah, soon. Soon the air will be clean again.
Yes, in summer.
Huh?
In summer.
Yeah.
Forveasa puja, Guru Maharaj, if it's possible.
Maybe earlier already.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, nice. And Niti, I saw you this morning already. I think it's still the same.
Yeah, nothing changed.
He's younger. Maybe he's younger a little bit.
Yeah, he looks a little more fresh than in the morning.
Yeah, maybe.
In the morning, he was a little tired.
Yes, I was, yeah.
Because you came from Food for Life, huh?
Not today. Today we didn't have a Food for Life, but you know, I worked 5 days and then Food for Life on Saturday, and then I got up early in the morning for the class. So yeah, I was a little bit tired.
In the temple?
Sorry?
Class in the temple?
No. Temple is closed at the moment. There's no service. There's not even. They have a flood. There were rain here last couple of days, so they have a flood on the road, so you cannot even go to the temple. So.
With the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, Shelko, no question arrived.
No, Guru Maharaj.
Huh?
Kak ne? Ima.
No, Guru Maharaj.
Bilo še nečem drugo. Ajde.
Drugo.
Kak ne? Ajde, pita.
Give him a beat on the head that he will start to think again.
Yes, I must start to think again. Actually, I have one question.
Okay.
But somebody must explain this. I don't know how to ask on English. Who will...
Shaktya, može.
Shaktya?
Shaktya, you can translate it?
Ajde, Shaktya, budeš. Zanima me, da li se naše rase sa Krišnom na neki način manifestiraju u našim odnosima u ovom svijetu prema drugim živim bićima?
Čekaj, polako. I was interested if our race...
She translate.
Okay.
What you?
Translate.
Go on.
Shaktya je shvatila.
Ajde polako.
Da se naša rasa prema Krišni, naša vječna rasa prema Krišni, na neki način tu manifestirati prema drugim živim bićima. Isto da se, jer vidim da neki kakte imaju izraženo više tu, brinu se samo o djeci, drugi imaju stalo ljubavne probleme, treći su samo u toj prijateljskoj rasi.
Čekaj
da manifestirate naša vječna rasa.
Čekaj.
I was interested, our internal rasa are also could be manifested here between other living entities. What we have in spiritual world, our internal rasa could be also manifested in here in material world with other living entities.
Yeah, you see, sometimes the people have more rasa with the dog than with their own dear ones, people.
Kao vidimo ponekad da neki ljudi imaju više rase sa nekim živim bićima poput kučića nego sa običnim čovekom.
Some they speak more with their horses, you know, than with their husband.
Kao neki pričaju više sa konjima nego sa mužem.
And some they cannot sleep without a cat nearby, you know.
Kao neki ne mogu čak ni da zaspeju ako nemaju mačku blizu sebe.
So they have a kind of rasa with this piece, you know, but it's not a real rasa, you know. It's only how we say skin rasa, you know. Skin.
To nisu rase koje su prisutne u duhovnom svetu. To je samo, I don't know how to translate this skin rasa.
Embodiment.
You don't know what is skin?
Skin like this?
Koža.
Skin, you know,
Koža,
the how we say, the tasting and enjoying the skin.
Aha.
Maybe petting.
kao osetilo što imamo preko kože.
She translated right? Okay.
Maženje, kao maziš.
Da.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
So sometimes we think, oh, the dog likes you so much because he licks you all the time. He almost wants to eat you up because he likes to extract the salt from your skin, you know.
Kao neki put mislimo da nas pas jako voli, stalno nas oblizuje i liže, a zapravo želi samo da skine so sa naše kože.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stories, you know, how people are more in love with their pets, you know, and animals and birds and whatever they have, you know, than with human beings.
Kaže, vidimo tako puno priča kako razni ljudi imaju razne odnose sa različitim životinjama, sa pticama, sa konjima, sa psima, kao više imaju te odnose sa životinjama nego sa ljudskim bićima.
But they do this out of frustration because they're so much frustrated with human relationship because they think, oh, with animal it's more easy, you know, more because they don't speak to me.
Kaže, to rade samo iz velike frustracije, jer su toliko frustrirani sa odnosima među drugim ljudskim bićima, da više vole imati te odnose sa životinjama, jer životinje zapravo neće im ništa govoriti u tom nekom smislu.
I can say there's a kind of relationship because with animals and with the nature, and also some people have a relationship with the trees, you know, embracing trees and speaking to trees.
Yes. Jeste to neka vrsta odnosa među životinjama, ljudi i životinje. Kaže, čak neki ljudi imaju odnos sa drvećem, sa prirodom, čak neki vole da grle drveće i da imaju taj odnos.
But this relationship has a beginning and an end. It's not ultimately so natural.
Ali zapravo takav vrsta odnosa ima početak i kraj, zapravo nije priroda.
And it because originally our relationship is with Krishna.
Jer zapravo izvorno naš pravi odnos je sa Krišnom.
And I would say the reflection of Krishna in the living entity, in the human form of life, is most near to him, you know, in the form of relationships.
Zapravo i ta refleksija, odraz odnosa sa
living entities are like a reflection of Krishna in a small way, you know.
Ljudska bića su kao odraz Krišne u malom značenju.
And therefore the living entities in the human form of life, they can fulfill the maximum amount of rasa, you know, in relation to Krishna, not even to a human being. Because as long as we see a human being as a human being and also only have skin love, you know, then there is not ultimate happiness. You know? But the tendency, I don't have to translate anymore.
Okay.
But the tendency to love and to exchange with something in this world, you know, it's natural with the living because it's life there. It's presence of the soul. If in the animal is no soul, or in a tree, you know, you cannot make a relationship with that animal and with the plant. So you actually make a relationship with the soul, and through the soul, also through the because next to the soul is also super soul. So we have a relationship with other living entities, because there is soul and super soul in that living entity. And ultimately we are looking all after relationship and the supreme fulfillment of all the relationships. It's not possible in the material world, it's only possible in relation to Krishna, in Bhakti Ras. Okay, Madhu?
Yes, but I have also something connected with this. Molim te prevediš, ak te.
But you have to speak in, no, it's too complicated with the translation. You speak in English, because you speak English if you want. Tax your brain.
Yeah. Because sometimes I can...
all your friends are here, nobody will laugh.
Yes, but if I don't know how to say, how I will say, okay. Sometimes I can see that some devotees...
And you say, as you would speak to me and nobody else is there.
Okay. Sometimes
to me.
I'm speaking to you, to this apparat.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Very well.
Okay. Thank you. Because sometimes I can see that some devotees have much more this relationship with another living entities, like in Madhurya Rasa. Somebody have a little bit more in this friendly Rasa. Some devotees have with much more in this neutral Rasa. Because of that, I understand maybe this eternal Rasa is reflecting to these relationships.
Yeah, also in one way, pervertedly reflected.
Yeah, this is my question actually.
Ja. Ja, dann komm und sitz dich neben mir und übersetze es. Ja.
Heißt das, wenn wir diese Natur hier haben und diese Art mit den Leuten zu leben, hat das etwas mit unserer Rasse, mit Krishna zu tun? Wenn ich jetzt mehr Zuneigung habe,
no, it has nothing to do with this rasa, because this rasa here is temporary in the material world. No? Because but these rasas all have their origin in Krishna, you know. But even if you have now a Madhurya ras with somebody, or so-called, you know, a conjugal relation or a friendship relation, maybe in the spiritual world you're something else. It's not necessarily the same. Only if you have a desire or developing such a rasa with Krishna, it will manifest by Krishna's mercy and by mercy of internal energy. Okay. So you should not think, oh, now I have Madhurya rasa, conjugal love with my wife, or you with your husband. And later on, I will have the same with Krishna. No, you have to cultivate it, and you have to qualify yourself for that, you know, because it's not material. Because here in material world, there's not real love. This love or rasa is covered, you know, by selfishness. And we heard last time when I gave lecture, I was reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 4. That the pure love of the gopis is like gold, and love in the material world is like lust. It's like iron. It's not the same. One is completely pure, and the other one is inferior. It has lesser quality, and it's not so attractive like gold. Gold is much more attractive than rusty iron. Yes. Of course, you can make the iron colorful and attractive, you know, but still it remains iron. So you cannot go bring it to an expert, the goldsmith, and tell, oh, this is gold, you know, because you're painted in gold. He immediately will say, will check it, and they say, this is fake. And that's the problem in this world. We have so much fake, you know, so much imitation. Of relationships and love and whatever, shelter. But the origin is pure in the spiritual world, but here it is perverted, reflected. That means it is a kind of a fake. But it shows if we have a nature for love and affection, right? And we're looking for it everywhere. If you don't find it between man and woman, then you find it in the family, you find it in friends, in animals, in the nature. It's something, you know. Some even speak with the water, you know, and see everything in the water, whole life. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good. And that's all. Yeah.
From my
Okay,
side.
then we stop. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next weekend. Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, can I ask now Mahaprabhu is driving.
Next time. We already late. Maybe your question is a little more complicated.
Oh, okay.
Good. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Haribol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.